So one of the first steps that we do whenever we're taking in a vehicle that's going to be receiving any kind of coating after the wash process is paint decontamination. And so basically, you know, you have your soap wash, which will remove surface level dirt, but what we're trying to get at is anything that's deeper in the pores of the paint. So right now Dane's doing our chemical decontamination. We use organic acid to spray it on the vehicle, and then actually we're going to be letting it dry out there. Start releasing all that road film and debris that's stuck in the paint. So one of the things that we look for in a vehicle is how well does the paint shed water. So you might hear the term hydrophobic thrown around a lot in the detail world. Basically it means how well does this paint shed the water and all the contaminants off of it. And right now you can see this paint is pretty flat. If you hit the water, most of it just stays on there. So one of the main benefits of putting any kind of coating or wax on your car is to help shed off all the debris and water. So once we do the contact wash, we're going to move into mechanical decontamination. So if you remember, we started with our chemical decon, which was our organic acid. Because we want to polish this car, we're trying to get the paint as absolutely clean as possible. A couple different clay medias. We got our clay sponge here with our clay on the one side there, and we also do have a clay towel. So same process, different tools. And what this is doing is removing the really embedded fallout, tree sap, things that are embedded deeper in the pores of the paint. So just lube it up with a little of our suds here and go right on the paint. And super important to keep it lubricated because obviously in this instance we are going to be polishing this car, but just for good measure. So this car doesn't seem to be very contaminated, but on cars that have pretty heavy buildup, you actually be able to hear the clay going over and removing all the grit. So having the right drying towel makes so much difference in your wash experience. This red towel that Dane's using here will easily dry this whole car. On an SUV, you gotta maybe grab a second one sometimes, or?
Every once in a while, like depending on the vehicle, I'll use a little bit of another towel, like maybe on a couple sides, but for the most part, one towel almost always makes it. As long as it's one of these towels.
Nice thing about these microfiber towels is they don't mint, they don't leave behind any fibers. As long as it's not oversaturated, it literally hardly leaves any, like, no streaks behind. Like if we clean glass with this, we won't even have to go back and clean So part of our installation process for our coatings is we got to prep the surface now that everything's polished out. We got some compound, even though we wiped it all off, there's still going to be leftover compound. And so designated prep sprays for all of our coatings just helps ensure that we have a clean surface for the coating to bond to. So a lot of people don't realize you can have your windshield glass coated, which basically you don't have to use your windshield wipers when it's raining. It's pretty sweet. So one of the nice things about putting a coating, a true coating on your car is where wax, has a pretty short lifespan. These coatings at minimum are probably gonna get you 18 months. We also have ones that go all the way up to 5 years, so. Keeps your vehicle looking nicer for longer.